Hey guys, what's up? It's Uncle and welcome to the next episode of the Pelicans. So we're finally into the playoffs, and we're matched up in the first round with the Warriors, which is kind of funny because in the real NBA this year, the Pelicans played the Warriors in the first round matchup, and the Warriors swept the Pelicans in 4 games as the #1 overall seed. And the Pelicans were competitive for one of the games, but didn't put up too much of a fight for the other 3. So we're going to see if we can return the favor to the Warriors in this MyGM and sweep them in 4 games. So we're already up 3-0. I did simulate the first 3 because it's the first round. For the first 2 rounds, I'll be simulating a lot of games just because, well, our roster is stacked. We have a very, very good roster, and playing the games probably wouldn't be all that much fun just because winning the series would be inevitable. Maybe not winning every game, but the series would definitely be a win anyway, so why not simulate a few? So we're going to start off the game with a bad pass from Jrue Holiday, and this game would really be about the tale of 2 halves, and I'll get in more into that in the second half. But in the first half, man, Steph Curry was lighting it up, and no one could guard him. So the reason why the Warriors were only an 8th seed, because they're a pretty good team. They lost Andrew Bogut, I believe, to a season-ending injury. But other than that, they have most of the same players that just won this past year's championship. So why are they so low? Well, the main reason why is because Curry was hurt for like 2/3 of the season in this MyGM, and we did play the Warriors a couple times during the regular season and absolutely destroyed them without Curry because they're a much worse team without him on the floor. So that's probably why they lost so many games, is just because they didn't have their best player, the MVP, and they really struggled quite a bit without him. Also, Andrew Bogut was hurt almost all year as well because he's a very injury-prone player as well. So we'd get off the game with Tyreke Evans finishing on the fast break here, and the first quarter was just very up and down, both teams playing hot tempo. David Lee was in the game, and just like in real life, they put David Lee in for a little bit. Didn't work out, and they didn't really play him much for the rest of the game. So we would score there with Andre Drummond getting the rebound. Andre Drummond was just destroying David Lee on the boards, and that's probably why I don't believe David Lee saw any playing time in the second half. But they were starting Maurice Spates at center instead of Andrew Bogut, who was injured and out. And he did a pretty good job, a much better job than David Lee, will say that. So Tyreke Evans would hit a 3. He was left wide open. Even though he's not the best 3-point shooter, if he's that open, I'm going to still pop him with him. And Steph Curry would just pump me out of my socks there and hit the mid-range jumper. And as I said, Steph Curry was just going off in this first half. I couldn't guard him. And Norris Cole, when he came into the game, he did a better job than Jrue Holiday. Norris Cole is a really, really good defender for his size. He's a pretty small dude. Wilson Chandler would hit the step back off of the isolation play there. And our bench mob was in the game, and our bench mob was doing pretty well. Definitely outplayed the Golden State bench, and I was happy to see that. Also, I let the coach in the game take care of all of the substitutions, and our coach decided to let Chris Middleton play with the bench players. And I thought that was a really, really wise decision, because normally when the bench comes in, what happens is we run a 2-point guard lineup with Norris Cole and Jrue Holiday at the shooting guard. But this time he decided to let Jrue Holiday rest and Norris Cole play the point guard, and then Chris Middleton play the shooting guard with the bench players on the floor. And this ended up to be really, really key later on. But Chris Middleton already showing how valuable he is on the floor, hitting the deep 3. He's by far the best 3-point shooter on our team. No disrespect to Jrue Holiday, who's a pretty good 3-point shooter too, but Chris Middleton, I believe, was one of the top 5 3-point shooters in terms of like 3-pointers made during the regular season, and he also shoots around 40%, so a really good percentage. So he's definitely one of the best snipers in the NBA. And of course, we're going up against a team in the Warriors with the Splash Brothers in Curry and Thompson, who also have 2 of the best snipers in the NBA. And it just remains to be seen what team would get the better of each other 3-point shooting, because both of these teams shoot a lot of 3s. Anthony Davis failed on a dunk attempt there, but luckily kicked it around the perimeter, got it to Jrue Holiday. He would hit a 3 as well. And this game would be a lot to do with 3s, and made or missed 3s would really come into play. And Maurice Spates gets another wide open cut to the hoop, and that's not the last time that would happen. I was very, very frustrated with Andre Drummond and his defense, or lack thereof, on Maurice Spates this game, because he would get a lot of open shots. And here was just a crazy shot by Andre Iguodala, getting like a spin around 3, and he's definitely not a very good shooter, but he hit that one. He can hit him when he's wide open. Norris Cole hitting a 3 as well. So we were definitely down at this point. I believe we were down by 9 points. So we had to get back into the game in a hurry, and we would do that with our 3-point shooting. And that's one of the main things I love about this Pelicans team. When our bigs are rolling, we have Anthony Davis and Andre Drummond punishing people down in the paint, and we can win games doing that. And sometimes when our bigs are struggling, we can just rain 3s down from the perimeter with Norris Cole, Holiday, and of course some of the dudes off the bench like Wilson Chandler, who can also shoot threes as well. So this team can do it from inside, can do it from outside. Anthony Davis would hit a turnaround jumper here, and that's key because those were his first points of the game, the only points he would score in the entire first half. He was 1 for 9 in the first half, really struggling, and we'd get the block here on Steph Curry on the three-point line, and that was just to show that Norris Cole played much better defense on Steph Curry than Jrue Holiday would. No points would come out of that, unfortunately, but then again, Wilson Chandler, he's left open with a little space, even though he was deep. He drains the three-pointer, and we were down big early, which is scary because the Warriors have one of the best home arenas in the NBA. But our three-point shooting got us right back into this game, and then we'd finish with the lob with Chris Middleton, and he would dunk that. We have a 5-point lead here. We'll see how long we can keep that lead. Probably not for too long, but for now we have it. And to end the first half, the Warriors would score once again off of a rebound with a rookie. So at the halftime reports, we're up by 3, 55-52, and look at that three-point percentage, 67%. Which is just ridiculous. We were shooting the lights out from 3 in the first half, and of course that wouldn't continue to be that good for the entire game. The Warriors were really struggling, but Steph Curry had 20 points in the first half, and then to start off the second half, right away Steph Curry hits a 3, and he's up to 23 points now. Now keep this in mind because this is important. I was like, oh no, we're in for one of those Steph Curry 50-point games probably, but Chris Middleton would answer with a 3 of his own, and Chris Middleton would start to heat up, and that comes into play later on as well. And then Steph Curry, once again, I'm trying my best to just deny the ball for Curry, but when I do that, Klay Thompson would hit a 3, and Klay Thompson definitely had a much better second half than he did a first half as well. He would play very well, and then Jrue Holiday gets by Curry and just slams it. That's the great thing about having a 6'4" point guard, is because he can do things like that, and then Curry is left wide open in transition. He would hit a 3, so he's up to 26 points, and there's 17 minutes left to go in the game, so I'm thinking, yeah, Steph Curry is definitely going for at least 40, but Anthony Davis, again, who only had 2 points before this dunk, just says he's had enough, and he goes to the rim and slams it. He would make the free throw as well, and then Anthony Davis, once again with the contact, he would finish the lay-in, and this is the point of the game where the best player in the NBA in terms of overall rating, Anthony Davis, would really start to take over the game. So Klay Thompson would be Golden State's star in the second half. He hits a 3 there, well contested by Norris Cole, but he still gets it to go. And we do have some bench players in the game now. Thomas Robinson leading the transition, and he can do that. And we'd get the lob up to Andre Drummond, who'd finish with the reverse dunk. Just awesome play there. The Warriors still have the lead, and they would continue to maintain the lead pretty much for the majority of this second half, but the game does come down to the wire for sure. We'd keep it close, and Klay Thompson would hit another 3, another good contest by Norris Cole, but Klay Thompson's just feeling it right now. He's one of the best shooting guards in the league. And then once again with the bench mob, Chris Middleton out there with the bench players, he would hit a 3, and our offense was really struggling with the rest of the bench players, but Chris Middleton hits the mid-range jumper after he gets the nice roll to drop, and he's just keeping the offense afloat here during the last part of the closing minutes of the third quarter. And Chris Middleton, once again with the clock ticking down, he would hit a 3, so he scored 8 points in about maybe a minute of game time there and really saved our bench, who was definitely struggling a lot in terms of offense, and he's also our leading scorer at this point. But starting off the fourth quarter, Anthony Davis would score once again over Maurice Spates, who's just not able to defend him in the post. Anthony Davis is just too athletic and too good. So Harrison Barnes is trying to work the ball here, and he would pass it into Draymond Green, and the Warriors would get a lot of those uncontested, or I guess that was slightly contested, but a lot of those lay-ins. I thought for sure the Warriors would score here. They had Maurice Spates and Draymond Green right down by the rim, and just great defense played by us, and that would lead to a flagrant foul by Klay Thompson. Probably, if we could translate this into a real-life situation, probably just frustrated with the fact that they didn't get a bucket there after the easy opportunity, and we would score the free throw, and then Jrue Holiday would finish with the floater out of the nice inbounds play that got him rolling to the rim. So 3 points out of that flagrant foul, which is just great. And here Curry would score, and those would be important because those are his only 2 points that he scored during the final 17 minutes of this game. That's all that Curry did. He didn't do anything else. And Klay Thompson would get rolling to the rim here, and he would score. So we're tied up 97-97 with 2 minutes left to go in the Oracle Arena with a cold Stephen Curry, and Jrue Holiday once again just driving to the rim. If he gets a full head of steam and there's a clear path to the rim, it's almost a guaranteed 2 points. And here, Maurice Spates would miss a really key free throw. Tyreke Evans is the only one going for the rebound, and Chris Middleton would be in the right place in the right time in transition. He would hit a 2-point jumper, and at this point we're just clinging to a 3-point lead, and obviously that's not as safe versus the Warriors as it is versus other teams. Mo Spates would get another bucket, which is just very frustrating to see. We would hit the free throws on the other end, and Mo Spates gets a rebound. He gets blocked by Drummond. Davis cannot get the rebound, and Maurice Spates gets another rebound, and he gets fouled, so he had to make one of the 2 free throws. So at this point, all we need to do is score, and as long as we don't miss any key free throws, the game is probably over, so we really need a bucket here. And we would go to Tyreke Evans for that, but he would miss the 3-pointer. Golden State calls timeout, and they're down by 2 with 10 seconds left. Are we going to send this game into overtime? Steph Curry is stuffed by Drummond. Drummond blocks Mo Spates again, and Harrison Barnes misses, and the game would end up ending right there. 2 huge blocks by Andre Drummond at the end of that game, and your player of the game would be Drew Holiday, actually, who had 22 points and 8 assists and just really led the charge for our offense all game long. He was absolutely great. Anthony Davis, who only dropped 2 points in the first half, scored 20 in the second half. And Steph Curry, who was so hot in the first half, only scored 2 points in the final 17 minutes of this game. And remember, we are playing on 10-minute quarters, not 12 minutes. So pretty much the entire second half only scored 2 points. Really good defense played on him, and probably he just stopped hitting all the crazy shots that he was hitting in the first half as well. Andre Drummond was huge with those 2 final blocks. He actually had 3 blocks in this game, but it only credited him with 2 for some reason. And overall, just a great team win. Chandler and Cole were huge off the bench and really helped our offense. And Anthony Davis, 22 points, 20 points in the second half. He just stepped up in the second half and played much better. Anyway, thanks for watching, and round 2 will be in the next video in a couple days. So I'll see you then. Farewell.